Welcome back. Today we are looking into Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. Let's get right into her. First off, the storyline. The book storyline is one of the best I've read in a while. The information is provided in a timely manner, and it never spoils too much of what comes. The foreshadowing's good, and it's not like overly giving you way too much at once to make it so you automatically know what's going to happen at the end of the book. The story is a good idea. It's a new idea for me. I've never read anything that similar to this book, and I appreciate finding something a little bit new, something a little bit different, and that the author, you can tell that they've spent time really thinking it through, and that makes a great story. Another really good thing about this book is there really wasn't anything in the storyline that didn't fit or made me think, man, this part really doesn't make sense. This part doesn't fit with the story. It all fit pretty well with the story. Here's part of the storyline that I really liked. The fake love stories, immaculate. They were surprising. I wasn't expecting that. They were refreshing, to see that not every book is just plain simple, easy, nothing bad happens. I like it. Overall, I'm giving this one a big score. A 10 out of 10 storyline. I couldn't see how you could make it better. It had every part you needed. It didn't overly give you too much information all at once. The foreshadowing was good. The surprises were good. Everything about it, great storyline. It was a really good book. Next up, the character development. We'll start off with Amelia, the main character. She knows a lot about the lighter side of magic, and is learning about the darker side as this book goes on. It's kind of just her on this vengeful type of quest after her sister was murdered. I really like her progression as a character. She turns into this kind of like person that's, kind of reserved. She doesn't get out that much. She just likes to cook and a good book, and now she has turned into the Demon Queen. Really good progression so far. I really liked the progression at the end, how she kept Antonio to torture him. I thought that was a nice touch. Next up, we have Wrath, another big character in this book. I think he's a really good character. The whole time, you kind of feel like he's starting to warm up to Amelia, maybe even starting to fall for her a little. And then in the end, you get the nice revelation that it was all part of the game. It was all part of his plot to remove the curse from him as well as from Pride. Very well done character, very, very well done demon, I guess. Next up, we have Victoria, Amelia's twin sister. She was murdered. We really don't know the full story about how, why, exactly what happened, but I am excited to find out what happens. Her death is the fueling force behind Amelia, so that's an important part of the book. Next up, we have Envy. He's kind of what you would have considered to be the antagonist in the later part of the book, but not at the end. He's behind all the witches dying, and he tries to get the Helm of Hades from Amelia. He's a good character. I'm interested to see how it plays out. He's gonna go back. The new Demon Queen or whatever, the queen is not happy with him, and he definitely tried to betray Pride, so it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. Next up, we have Nana Maria, Amelia's grandma, and super powerful witch. Kind of a crazy old lady, but she's a good character. She almost dies, and she comes back, sends Envy back down to hell, whatever. Overall, though, I really liked her character, and overall, the characters were really done in this book. There's a couple other characters, but none of them were that important. You had Antonio, who is, the fake, I guess, childhood friend, and he ends up being the one that's actually partly behind all of the murders of the witches that happened, especially Victoria. Big reveal at the end. That one was a little more foreshadowed, I think, than some of the others. I kind of saw that one happening. I felt like that was well done, having the betrayal of Antonio. And then you had her best friend, who kind of went a little bit crazy at the end. It'll be interesting to see what happens between her and Nana, because they're still on Earth. Overall, the character development is really good. Good characters. The characters developed well. I'm giving an overall 9 out of 10 on the character development. Next up, we have the writing style. It's not super complex. It's not, you're not reading Lord of the Rings, but overall, it's well written. You can tell the author took her time to write this book. She thought it through. She did a really good job. Nothing is overly descriptive, but she still does a really good job at describing certain things that are important to the plot. Overall, I really like the writing style. I think the author did an incredible job on this book, and the writing style for me is an 8 out of 10. The theme of this book is pretty solid, you know. It's a good theme. It's a good theme, but there's really not that much behind the theme of this book. You know, it's kind of just Milia on her quest for vengeance. It's kind of, you know, how far are you willing to go to get vengeance? How far are you really willing to go to make things right, or to get your retribution, I guess is how I'd say it. I'm intrigued to see how the theme progresses throughout the next books. But yeah, it's an interesting theme. You kind of know where it's going, but kind of not, and I kind of enjoy that. Overall, the theme, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. There's not a whole lot to discuss with the theme, because it is really not that complex. Overall, I think this is a great book. Best book I've actually read in a while, I think. Overall, as a series, though, we're yet to see. But the very first book, I'm giving an 8.5 out of 10. Definitely a book to buy, to read. I'm excited to see how the rest of the series goes. It's easy to ruin a series. It's also not that hard to make a series good. You know, you can keep it. But a lot of books can be ruined by a second book. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment what book you'd like me to do next, or if you had any insights on this book that I didn't cover. And I'll see you guys next time.